First Lady Jill Biden is accused of pandering to a key voting bloc and facing fierce backlash over comments she made about inclusivity during a speech to progressive Hispanic voters in San Antonio yesterday. It was called the Latinx event. Watch.
Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is your strength.
Kaylee just said to me she didn't practice. I'm more afraid if she did. Okay. The National Association of Hispanic Journalists fired back with this. NAHJ encourages the First Lady and her communications team to take time to better understand the complexities of our people and communities. We are not tacos. Our heritage as Latinos is shaped by various diasporas, cultures, and food traditions. Do not reduce us to stereotypes. The First Lady's team has since apologized and said this. Her words were conveyed anything but pure admiration and love for the Latino communities, not to mention what she likes to eat, I guess. Her controversial comments come at a time President Biden's popularity among Latino voters is plummeting, and Republicans are picking up the gap there. A new New York Times Siena poll reveals only 32% approve of his job performance. Kellyanne, we'll start with you. Your thoughts. And by the way, bodega. I mean,
I can see one outside the window.
Colombia.
Yes, it is. And she's reading from a teleprompter, which makes her just the latest member of the Biden-Harris administration who can't speak well, even when it's in the teleprompter. Look, this was a natural consequence of what's going on with the Biden-Harris administration. They have completely lost connective tissue with Hispanic Americans who are very concerned about immigration, not open borders. Education, screen time is not school time. They heard what their kids were learning. They are economic upward mobility voters. They are also very religious. Walk into a Catholic church in any suburb, in any city in this country, and you will see them in the pews every Sunday. They don't like the hostility towards religious freedom that they see coming from the Democratic Party. And most importantly, there were a couple polls done in late 2021. 40% of Hispanics in one poll said they are offended by the term Latinx. 2 to 3% said they ever use it. So what is she doing there to begin with? And the other thing is, look, Kaylee and I worked in the White House. These speeches are vetted. People look through them. Sometimes you go off script. We worked for a guy who did that quite a bit. You go off script with a little bit of humor. She was reading from the teleprompter. This had been approved. White House counsel's office, staff secretary had to approve. But his approval ratings have been cut in half among Hispanics since the day he took office, and he's earned that. And I would note this for you. In that same New York Times Siena poll, it is among Hispanics where President Trump is witnessing some of his largest gains, not among whites and not among Hispanics. And I think it's because of the agenda we just talked about. These are school choice charter voters, charter school voters, and they don't like what they're hearing from the Democratic Party.
I want to go because we have a lot to pull from here. And can we just remind everybody President Biden's Despacito moment?
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here. All right. There you go. Dance a little bit, Joe. Come on.
Okay, that was awkward. I don't know that he had actually ever heard that song.
No, I actually love that song. It's one of the rare non-country songs I love, but like playing that to try to get Latino voters for this 79-year-old man, I mean, this is ridiculous. The fact that, you know, I look on Twitter last night and I see Hispanic journalists say, "We are not tacos." Okay, we are not tacos. When you have evoked that kind of response from a serious journalistic association of Latinos, you have done something wrong. I mean, rule number one, base in politics, don't contort and compare an entire group of voters, nonetheless a very important voting bloc, to a food item. I don't know what they were thinking. To Kellyanne's point, these speeches are vetted. People look through this. They thought this was a good idea. I imagine now maybe Ron Klain's going to say anything coming out of FLOTUS office I need to sign off on.
Oh my
I don't know if even that'll help.
Well, but to see the former, candidate, now president, go there as well in some awkward moment. I mean, what is this that we're watching? You heard Kellyanne talk about, the disconnect of connective tissue. That was so beautifully put. I mean, it's like they don't even see human beings. Yeah, it's a total disconnect. These are not gaffes. This is their best messaging, which is pretty frightening if you think about it. In the prompter. In the prompter. It was like vetted in the prompter. And I mean, when I come to New York City, I feel like Elf walking around here because I have no idea. But even I know that they're not, it's the best. They're not bodegas or whatever. Even I heard that and I was like, I'm pretty sure they're bodegas, but whatever. But this is, and it's important for voters to realize this. This is what Democrats think of you as voters. This is what Democrats think of Hispanics. You are pawns in their effort to get themselves elected and amass more power. That's what they think. And it doesn't matter if you're Hispanic or you're a woman or you're any minority. Well, how about black? If you don't vote for me, said candidate Joe Biden, you're not black. Yeah, no, and they do not care. And when you look at these, especially you look in neighborhoods that are predominantly represented by Democrat politicians and have been for a very long time, they don't care about your life. They're not trying to solve your problems. Oof. You're just pawns in their game. Emily, it's so hard to hear this type of criticism about the people who are representing our nation, not just here at home, but around the world, where everybody has a different diaspora culture. It's the rest of the world. I mean, how do they get that done if this is how they act?
I don't know. I mean, like Jill, like Joe, to your point. And remember what Joe said in August of 2020. He was actually speaking to the National Association of Hispanic Journalists. Quote, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly diverse attitudes about different things. You go to Florida, you find a very different attitude about immigration than you do in Arizona. So it's a very diverse community. We're monolithic, apparently. To them, we are. And here's why. You hit the nail on the head. It's because to those liberal elites, to the Democratic Party, they always know better than you. Person of color, minority, person I've put in a box. I know better than you how to think, what to say. I know what you should be saying. I know how you think. I have indeed shoved you into a monolithic box. I expect you to vote a certain way, and I expect you to keep quiet, frankly. And that's the whole irony, is that for their performative activism we've been subjected to for all of these years, with them saying, oh, we are allies, we are this. I am dedicated to having a vice president be a woman of color and a Supreme Court justice be a woman of color. Frankly, everything out of both of their mouths has been nothing but disrespectful at a minimum, downright racist at a maximum. I'm going to ask the team just to let us pop this up, because she just turned a 100-year-old blue seat red down in Texas. Yes. And hearing from Myra Flores on this issue is something that we probably want to do before we go to commercial. She says this is what she tweeted. They just don't get it. Latinos aren't buying their liberal pandering. We care about the rising cost of housing, food, gas issues that impact everyday Americans. No matter how loud they yell their made-up words, it won't change the reality of their failed policies. Marco Rubio, senator, said, hashtag new profile pic with the image of a taco. And Senator Ted Cruz tweeted, personally, I'm a chorizo, egg, and cheese. Last quick word.
Marco Rubio with the epic troll. I mean, that just gets to the heart of it, because every person, he routinely tweets Bible verses in the mornings, and they're going to see this taco as his profile picture. And if you didn't know the story, which I didn't when I saw the profile picture, you'll learn the story very quickly.
All right.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.